The literary renaissance is upon us, everyone, because I have just launched my free writing school. I am ready now to activate tens of thousands of writers so that we can kick off our literary crusade and resurrect good writing, create a golden age in literature. And what makes this community different than any free or paid community online is that we focus on the work. This is not some weak community where you can self-promote yourself and just passively consume information. Every single day, we're going to be having writing challenges. We're going to be having daily, weekly writing challenges. We're going to be having weekly writing assignments. And I think best of all, I have given you all my information, given you the exact game plan for free on how to build your audience, how to get readers in the modern era, because the old way is not working. 65% of books published by the top publishers in the world sell less than 1,000 copies. Do you know how weak that is? And I wish it wasn't that way, but now it's up to us to make it happen because it is the only guaranteed way to become a full-time author in 2024, because all luck is laboring under correct knowledge. And so I've probably hyped you guys up enough so that you can just go join. The link is right down there. But let me show you guys inside. And so I'm about to let the hordes in. I'm about to let in over 700 people. And I assume after this video, there'll be over 1,000. But these are the assignments we already have going. We have a short story and essay challenge. We have a poetry challenge. And these two challenges are revolutionary because Ray Bradbury advised all writers, no matter if you were a beginner or an advanced writer, to write a short story every single week for a year. Because he said, by the end of the year, you will have at least 5 stories that are publishable, that someone will publish. But the problem is, nobody reads literary journals anymore. The pipeline of get a couple stories published so that you can find an agent and then you can sell your book is done. It's obliterated. And so the new mentality that I'm going to be teaching is that by the end of the year, you are going to have 5 short stories or essays that are absolute fire that you are going to use as the cornerstone of your Substack for whoever comes. They are going to read that and be like, holy shit, this is free. And then once they finish that, you are going to have 45 or however much you write. Maybe you only write 30 short stories, but you're going to have dozens of essays or short stories for them to consume. And by the end of all that, they're going to be obsessed with you and your writing. That's how a lot of you got roped into this YouTube channel. You saw me talk about something, then you watch more of my videos. And now every single day or week when I release a new video, you watch it. And now you're thinking about, hey, I should join this dude's writing school because I've built trust with you for free. There's 500 videos on this channel. And so this approach is revolutionary because we are going to be keeping each other accountable, growing together, liking each other's stuff together so that we can sail toward our personal writing goals. I also have 3 assignments every single week for my courses: a fiction writing assignment, a sentence structure writing assignment, and a poetry writing assignment. And so if you go over here to the classroom, I have all different types of courses: BookTube course, building your reading audience course, but the 3 writing courses are the sentence building course. And instead of info dumping, because that's what I was doing, you guys, I've been saying I'm going to launch this writing school since last April, and I filmed like 50 hours of content. But then I realized that's what everyone else is doing. There's so many dead Discords and writing groups online where the creator posts all this content and people passively consume it. But instead, every single week, I'm going to post a lesson. You guys are going to do assignments, and then we'll move on. You have to practice to get better, especially with sentence structure, because I really don't think there's any comprehensive course online that goes over how, the depths of sentence structure. And by the end of the year, we are going to have covered hundreds of different types of sentences and practice them. And that is a shortcut, because when people say, you don't need a course like this, you don't need a school like this, you can figure this all out on your own, they're actually right. But it probably will take you 25,000 hours because you'll have to figure out those 200 forms yourself and intuitively understand how they function in your writing. Or instead, you can practice them now, learn how to implement them in your own version and vision of writing, and then spend your time worrying about other stuff that can't really be taught. Sentence structure can be taught. And so we are going to be building sentences together. I'm also going to be talking about poetry and fiction And the poetry course this week, I think, is absolute fire. Same with the fiction course. I'm coming out with some heat and asking you guys to radically experiment with your writing, because that's how you improve. Because there are no writing rules. But if you follow rules to an extreme or break them to an extreme, then you really understand them. And that's my goal with a lot of this stuff, is to push our limits so that we understand what the limits are. And so then when you sit down to write your novel or whatever, you have a full writer's toolbox to come into it with. And I don't care if English is not your first language or where you are in the world, if you've never written a word in your life. This group is not about promotion. This group is not about proving yourself. This group is about the work. And I have created it and made it so that there's going to be no annoying people saying, check out my novel or this or that. It's all going to be about improving your writing, no matter if you are writing nonfiction, fiction, or poetry. Let's go. And so every single week, just the exercises and the course videos alone are going to be a lot to handle. But if you add in either writing a poem every single day or a short story every single week, and then following my entire course, which is right here on how to build your audience, there's a ton of really good content here that you can't find anywhere else, then you are going to grow not just as a writer, but start to find your ideal reader. Because my big goal, my big guarantee that I'm giving you if you join this, is that by the end of the year, you're going to start connecting with your ideal reader. Maybe a couple dozen of them, or hundreds, if not thousands of them. It depends on the work you are willing to put in. But when you start to communicate with people who enjoy your writing, your life automatically changes. Because, guys, I get it. I've been there. I spent over a decade writing for nobody. I was getting published in college journals and in literary magazines that don't even exist anymore. They're like defunct. They don't even have their website up anymore. It's ridiculous. And so just having a couple people who read your stuff can change your life. And so I'm also going to be hosting events over on the school. We're going to be doing Q&As, co-writing sessions, a bunch of other cool stuff. I'm still figuring a lot of this out. And I'll be talking to a lot of you guys one-on-one. I'm going to have an offering where we can hop on a call together and I can get to know you, because the more people I get to know in the community, the more I know of what I need to do to make it better. And so also the community aspect, you're going to be able to ask questions to me and other writers on how to improve your writing or what you are struggling with. And I don't know if there is any place online for free that hosts literary writers in that regard. Because Reddit, as I talk about a lot, is a cesspool. And the people who are responding to you, you don't know who they are. The majority of people on this school are going to have their Substack link, in their bio. So if they say, hey, you need to do X, Y, and Z, you can look at their stuff and be like, oh shit, this guy's writing some heat. And so what's my end goal with this? My end goal is that if I got 1,000 writers to write 50 short stories a year, that's 50,000 literary short stories out in the ether. And if those writers had the confidence to stand behind that, guys, that would create waves in the community. If I had 1,000 writers write 300 poems, that's 300,000 poems. Guys, like, I'm questioning if I even know how to do math when I hear that. Like, that is fucking bizarre. Because by tomorrow or the next day, there will be 1,000 people in this group. And so are you going to be one of the people who puts in work or just sits on the sideline and looks at everyone else? And eventually, I think I can do it. Eventually, I think that millions of pieces of writing over the next decade will be produced because of this group. That is what I'm standing behind, and that is what I'm trying to accomplish. And a lot of those would have never been written without the accountability and the weekly system that I'm trying to perfect, because you guys are the OG members. A lot of this stuff is being ironed out, obviously, and we are going to work together to make it better. Thank you guys for being here at the start. Day oneers. Once again, click the link down in the description below, and I will see you guys in there. And I recommend just hopping right into the challenges.